My concentration at Harvard was government, and I chose it because I was interested in the field and the amount of quality classes and professors that were in that program. And I knew that being able to write and communicate was a skill set that no matter what profession I picked would be able to translate. So currently I work at a real estate development company called Irongate. I'm the managing director of construction and development, currently focused on a mixed-use luxury residential and resort community in Cabo, with a few hotels like a Four Seasons, an Aman, marina, golf course, et cetera, and a lot of individual private residences. We also have projects in Hawaii and Aspen. And before I was in Mexico, I was working for 6 years in Hawaii. And currently I focus on the execution of that master plan. And I run all of our teams and construction projects down here. I got lucky. I actually, after Harvard, my first job out of Harvard was actually Teach for America. So that's what originally brought me to Hawaii. And then from there, I went back into construction, having worked for the Durst organization previously. And then, parlayed that experience into my current role with Irongate. For me, it was pretty interesting at Harvard. I came in as an older student. I'd served in the military prior to my time at Harvard. And by the time I got to Harvard, I wasn't as much of a contributor on the field as I would have been in the past. So it's really the lesson I took was how to be humble and how to learn to be a contributor and to add value to a team when maybe you're not the most talented or getting the most playing time. And it just taught me that there's a lot of ways to make a team better, by being a good teammate and a good leader, kind of on and off the field. When I was looking back on my time, there's so many of the little moments that stand out, just, whether it was the training room or early morning lifts and runs, to the game day meals. I think the trip we took my sophomore year to Cornell for the Ivy League championship, which was a weekend trip, even though we lost in the finals, I thought that was a great kind of culmination of that season. But really, I think the best memory for me was my freshman summer. I stayed on campus with a few of the guys and, did summer dogs with Coach Mullen, worked in Boston and took summer school classes, and then played summer league lacrosse. And it just was an amazing time period to, get close with that group of guys that stayed for my year. Yeah, it definitely was a bit non-traditional. My freshman year, I lived in Canada with 3 18-year-olds, none of who played lacrosse, but all were amazing kids. From there, my sophomore year, I ended up living in Adam's house with 3 of my lacrosse teammates who ended up being some of my best friends at Harvard. The house system was amazing. For me, I was 23 as a freshman, 24 as a sophomore in Adam's house. And it really forced me to develop relationships with people who I may not have ever met, had I been living off campus. I think a lot of veterans and a lot of like older athletes that live off campus, across kind of the college athletics landscape, they have an opportunity to insulate themselves from the regular college life. But eating in an Adams house dining hall and just spending time with other people, at Harvard, just was able to make some great relationships with people. Again, that I maybe wouldn't have had I lived off campus. It really is a point of pride and something that I'm feel very fortunate and happy to have participated in. When you're a part of that network, you're part of a small group of individuals who have a unique shared experience. And automatically, when you meet someone from Harvard Lacrosse, doesn't matter what year they've graduated in, you know what they've been through and they know what you've been through. And it gives you like a shared foundation to build a stronger future relationship. And then for me, as a managing director, I interview a lot of people and then put together teams. I often look for similar experiences on people's resume. I haven't been fortunate enough to interview a Harvard lacrosse player yet, but I look for athletes that have that, team first mentality that I know are going to be able to fit in and work hard and be a part of a team environment.